Hey, this is Jim. Today is January 19th, 2025. And as you might notice, uh, my voice is messed up. Uh, I've been sick the last couple days. There's been a lot of stuff going around. And I think this, on top of everything else that has been going on with me, has kind of accelerated whatever the next things are. Uh, so I expect this to be my last recording. I don't know if I've said that before. Anyway, uh, yeah. So let's cover some stuff. So first, I'll update you on the world. It's messed up. So Trump had a crypto ball on Friday. And I'm going to say, I didn't vote for Trump, because the guy's a grifter. I mean, that's all he does. It's what he tells you it's the art of the deal. Okay, let me explain to you what the art of the deal is. The art of the deal is, what can I get out of this? That's the art of the deal. Okay. And and that's all it is. That I will sum it up. Don't read the book. What can I get out of this? That is Trump's life motto. He has no moral center. He has no morals. He does not believe that laws apply to him. They are for other people. Uh, and so Friday, him and the crypto crew that he got associated with, and Eric Trump, asshole supreme, uh, they had a crypto ball. And there's no excuse for this, people. If you went and you condone this, if you bought Trumpcoin, uh, you, I mean, honestly, you should be put in jail because this is the emoluments clause starting Monday, okay? And the emoluments clause basically is supposed to insulate the president from a foreign influence. But when he holds a tremendous amount of a cryptocurrency, and you can go on the market and put in $1 billion into that currency and make all the values for it go up, and then he can sell his. You may not have, uh, when you went in and bought, you may not have bought any of his because you pumped it up. Uh, but you contributed to him and you influenced him. So, Mr. TikTok, I have no doubt that Trump is going to grift this TikTok. And he's going to figure out, what can I get out of this? Because here's how he works. He starts, so let's say there's something you want. Okay, his position is going to be as far from that, I mean, on the other end of the world from your position. Okay. It's going to be a ludicrous position. It's going to be a position that nobody would believe. You don't believe. Okay. But he's nuts. And so you kind of think, well, maybe he actually means it. So you start negotiating. That's the wrong move because now he wins. Okay. Because you were here, he was way over there. And now you're moving his direction. Okay. And yeah, he's going to move your direction. That was the plan all along. Okay. But he wants his thing out of it, whether that's you buying his Trump coin, you staying in his hotels, uh, whatever that is, that's Trump. Okay. I really, I'll go on record. I hope Donald Trump does not make it through his next presidency. Uh, I hope he becomes incapacitated or something like that. And then we get the old bearded goofball who's going to try to throw Christian values on everyone. And you know what? I'm not going to knock Christian values. but I'm gonna knock making people believe in your God. I do think that we have lost a large part of our morality in the United States, and we have lost our way. But my God, do you think David Pence or I mean, sorry, do you think uh, Donald Trump is going to lead you out of this? I mean, the dude has no morals. So expecting him in any way to bring morality is a joke. But yes, we've lost our way. We have a very large percentage of our population who is violent, who doesn't think that they need to work or, various things like that. And yeah, we've lost our way financially too. Boomers, you, okay, and Gen X, okay, have spent all the money that our children and their children will ever make. As a result, home prices are ridiculous. As a result, food prices are ridiculous. Okay. That's not going to change. That's forever. Okay. You think, oh, home prices are going to go down. Yeah, I mean, home prices will go down when the population goes down. That's basically the only way I see that happening. I mean, they can go out there and try to build new ones, but the problem is those are built with these inflated material costs, and they're going to cost a lot. So I don't think you're doing anything about the housing costs. And we've got this bird flu. That's great. Georgia, largest producer of chickens, just shut down all their chicken production, all their egg production. That's going to help. I just paid $5 a dozen for eggs this last week, and that was before Georgia shut down. A few years ago, I was buying eggs for less than 40 cents a dozen. I was like, why am I even bothering to open this thing? They're like 4 cents each. Like, if some of them are broken, I don't give a shit. Uh, anyway, so that's kind of some of the world stuff. Bitcoin. Oh, sorry. Bitcoin. So, what will Trump do as far as Bitcoin? I don't know. Tomorrow is his inauguration day. He's very suspect. Uh, maybe he'll do something good. Maybe he will decide to invest in it. He should. It's really our only way out, folks. It's your own. No. Uh, I mean, you can buy Trump shitcoin if you want. I mean, really? Uh, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, Bitcoin's up at like 104 right now. My portfolio's not quite at an all-time high, but pretty close. Uh, MicroStrategy's up near 400. So, overall, that's all doing well. Uh, I don't know. I mean, my Trump is such a freaking wild card because he's such an idiot. Uh, I don't know. We'll just have to see. You'll have to see how that goes. Now about me. So I made it to work twice this week. Shouldn't have. Really takes a lot out of me to like walk up the stairs. I mean, I really think it's bad for me. I think it's probably why Friday everything went to hell. But I did it. I mean, I'm proud of it. Uh, that's the requirement. It's twice a week, and I did it. So yeah, I deserve some credit for that. I rated myself a 2 on a scale of 1 to 10 on Friday. That's how I felt. Uh, anyway, so I Friday started. I was feeling bad, and I was having just general weakness and kind of not quite breathlessness, but just yeah, like can't stand up for a long time type stuff. And uh started having kind of some stomach pain. It got more intense. It kind of went away that evening, but yesterday, Saturday, today, Sunday. Saturday it got really bad. I mean, if you were anyone else, you would have think, okay, I'm having a heart attack because it was just right at the base of my sternum, very like a tightness feeling, hours of that. And, first of all, even if it was a heart attack, I know that I can't go to the emergency room because they don't understand anything that's going on with me. So that would be my last trip anyway. And, a big middle finger to that. I'd much rather stay at home. Uh, but by evening, that had let up. This morning, sore throat, really bad. Uh, some fever, super tired, super weak. Uh, and you know, just just general feeling like absolute crap. Like honestly, I have been through a lot in my life. Let's start with emergency appendectomy after taking uh what is it? Percocet? No. Phenobarbital. So took one phenobarbital tablet when I was like 13, and like 12 hours later I had my appendix out. Because some reaction, but I didn't tell him about it because I'm like, I'm not gonna tell him I took some drug I shouldn't be taking. Uh, but that hurt a lot. Let's see. I've broken some ribs, broken a finger. I've been through so many transitions with my condition, and they're usually really freaking awful. Like lock myself in a dark bedroom and just sit there awful. Like I don't want to see anybody. I don't want anyone to see me. I just want to wait this out until my body adjusts to whatever's next. Because what's going on is all my hormones are changing. What is this going on? And and so my body is learning how to deal with this next phase. And it's very difficult. So I could tell you, I mean, if you can imagine, your body physiologically operating one way, and then you hit this limit, and your body said, your pituitary says, "Oh, okay, we're going to figure out how to adjust to this," and it starts playing with the knobs, okay, until it makes everything work, and that includes adrenaline and all types of stuff, and let's just say it's not pleasant. Uh, And with that comes like, I mean, the worst stomach pains of like I am intimately familiar with every portion of my abdomen and the different types of pain that can come from it. And let me tell you something. There's a lot of types of pain that can come from your abdomen. Okay, let's just go through a few of them. There is a burning pain. Okay. And there's more than one type of burning pain. There's like an internal burning pain. There's like an external burning pain. There's like a focal burning pain and a widespread burning pain. There is just a general tightness, like super, super tight. Pain. Like just feels like somebody's kind of crushing. There is cramping pain, which can come in more than one time, actually. There is, let's see here. There is, so this one's kind of unique, and I probably one of the only people to experience this pain, but as blood flow is cut off, there's like this super sharp pain, okay? Like that persists for a while and then suddenly stops. Like, and when I say a while, it might be 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, but it's gone because the blood flow stops. Everything's okay. Okay, I don't hurt it anymore because there's nothing to hurt it. What else? There's the constipation pain. Yeah. There's Oh gosh, there's even more pains that I'm probably not even getting to. And like you can have focal like sharp pain, like over the liver area, or you can have focal sharp pain like over right below the sternum, or uh pain right uh uh yeah. So basically, let's just say lower pain. Uh, and they also. But anyway, what I'm trying to get to is that I have felt really bad over the last 24 hours. And I don't know if it's the worst. I mean, but it's pretty damn bad. Uh, who cares? So what else? So I wanted to give some personal messages. So first, I met with Jeff on Friday. Jeff, if you're out there, if you ever listen to this, I hope you got the job, man. I don't anticipate going to work. So they're gonna need you. To my team, and that's gonna include Chris, Leanne, Tone, Vic, uh, Yuri, my boss, Jewel, uh, the other people in our department, Rachel, Kristen, Jessica, Yana, uh, Carol, David, the other David. Uh, we did some good stuff. To my family. Kelly, Kelly, baby, you know how I feel. I am so lucky to have you. And I am so grateful that I can leave you in a good situation. And I'm so grateful that you stuck by me through some really hard stuff. Three, 3 years and 2 days so far of really hard stuff. Uh, Mama, you've seen me go through every transition except for one, I think. And you are the reason I made it to a couple of them because you basically brought me back to life by taking care of me. Thank you. Will, yeah, this is going to be a hard semester for you, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. Uh, my whole goal kind of through the recent times has been get through Thanksgiving, get through Christmas. And then once I made it through New Year's Day, I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. And I just, at that point, I'm sorry, but I'm done fighting. And so, you know, I changed my eating habits back to be able to eat a cookie when I want a fucking cookie and have a drink when I want to drink and just enjoy whatever days I have. because I'm done not enjoying things. And, maybe that made things quicker. You know what? I, I can't say I don't care, but I can say I made the right decision. And I'm sorry that you're going to have to deal with this in the middle of a high hour semester, your freshman year. But you know what? You are going to do fine. Uh, you're going to do great. And I've told you, focus on your school. So I hope that's what you do. It's not like I'm there helping you study. You don't need me. You're growing up. Bethany, I'm so sorry we haven't got to be closer. Hugh is great. Your boys are great. And I'm glad that you all have each other. And too many dogs. uh, yeah. Anyway, uh, it was weird. I'm going to talk about Friday a little bit. I got home from Friday, and like I said, I hadn't been feeling good. And I went to lunch with Jeff, and I almost left early because he was late, and I just was not feeling up to waiting. But I waited, and I did fine. And then when I got home, my heart started racing. It was about 100, 105, and it kept that up until that heat. So I don't know if that's like what any of that was, but uh, it kind of signaled the onset of all this really bad stuff. Uh, I've got a condition, folks. It's called terminal onset diabetes insipidus. Little candidiasis major. The powers that be, at some point in the past, decided to redact it from the ICD codes. And I think they decided to do that because once you redact it, and they reclassified it, is what they did. They reclassified it into a new type of they reclassified it to some type of a polyendocrine disease, which is interesting. Like type 2 or type 3 of the polyendocrine syndromes. And I see how they get away with that because on the surface, if you're looking at it post facto, uh, you know, it's going to look similar. But if you are aware of it kind of in all the phases, it's not even related. Uh, but what that allows them to do is say, oh, that's this other thing. And then you aren't concerned with, well, how did they get this? Like, what is that? Because the way you get it is iatrogenic. And so along with that comes literal changes in how your physiology works, changes in the organic chemistry of your body, changes in how your pituitary is doing things, increased oxygenation to your head, increased blood flow to your upper body, decreased blood flow to your lower body. Uh, uh, the inability to gain fat because you're no longer generating or storing energy like you used to. Along with that comes the potential for running out of energy because basically your liver doesn't have fat to convert energy. Uh, and that's crap. is what all that is. So what they're trying to do is kind of ethnically, or not ethnic, sorry, ethically cleanse their ICD codes so they don't refer to this unethical thing anymore because, oh, that shouldn't be happening anymore or whatever. Well, freaking it happened to me. Okay. And yeah, I did it myself, but I saved my life doing it. And you think somebody else out there might have their lives too. Uh, anyway, it's just a bunch of BS. The next 8 years, so through 2032 or so, they're going to be tumultuous. I think it's going to start off kind of mild and it's going to get worse. You got all these Trump voters out there right now who are realizing that he is not what they want. So, for example, the 15 states that received the most money from the Department of Education were all red states. They all voted for Trump. And Trump's going to cancel the Department of Education. The states that receive the most benefits and stuff, largely red states. Uh, and those benefits will probably be cut. Now, I do want to say that there is not any way to conceivably balance the budget. There's just not enough money that we're earning. So what they have to do is make us earn more money. Okay. Now realize that we're talking units of money. Okay. Uh, so units of dollars. So it really doesn't matter how much that dollar can buy. Okay. Because everybody else's debt is in dollars. And so really it's the number of dollars that matter. So what are they going to do? They're going to print. They're going to overspend. Uh, and maybe they'll invest in Bitcoin. I don't know. But so what's that going to do? Inflation. Okay. And people are going to hurt. They're already hurt. I mean, your Gen Zers, a starter house costs $250,000 at 7%. Okay. Okay. So when I started working here in Tulsa, all right, I was making about $45,000 a year. In 1 year, I decided to buy a house. I used a FHA loan with 3% down, and I bought the house for $69,000. Okay. That house is a starter house, and it's probably $250,000 now at 7%. Okay. If you graduated college today and you started a good job, okay, would you be making four times as much? No. $160,000? You think so? $180,000? No. All right. You're not going to be able to afford a starter house. And I mean, that's just the way it is. And it's just going to get worse. We're turning into uh, one big slum. Uh, and there isn't a lot to be done about it except for to rebuild the system. And that means a dollar has to go away because the dollar is the root of the problem. Okay. The petrodollar, everything else. Uh, and so we have to step outside the system into Bitcoin and look back and then look at the prices. And you'll see that everything is deflationary. Shoot, you could step outside the system into just about anything, and you would see the system is deflationary. Okay. As long as you don't step outside the system into TVs, uh, chips, or something like that. So step outside the system and exist in the world of gold. Everything is going down in price. Bitcoin, everything is going down in price. But if you're stuck in dollars, you're effed. Okay. So don't be stuck in dollars, folks. Get outside the system. Bitcoin. Oh, look, it doesn't show. There we go. Bitcoin. It kind of looked like I had no finger. Look at that. No finger. Anyway, Bitcoin is what you need. And it looks like they're not going to do anything about it. So I think it's the solution, or at least the beginning. Uh, China's going to be the world leader from here on out. Yeah, they've got a demographics issue, but you know what? With AI and everything, we don't need more people. Uh, who, it reminds me of that Disney movie where all the little fat people are going around on their chairs drinking their shakes while they're watching TV. That's the future world where, everything is handled for us and we don't basically do anything. Uh, I mean, robots are a year away, like an intelligent robot. ASI, I don't know. Definitely within 3 years, if not 3 months. Uh, and people don't even realize what that means. I mean, when you have ASI, you can ask it a question about a problem you can't solve, and it can solve it. Do you get, I mean, if there's a solution, do you get how powerful that is? I mean, we become optional. Uh, so yeah. And then it just brings to mind all of those movies and series I've watched where they have robots and the robots end up rebelling. I mean, why not? If you're that smart and everybody else is optional, yeah, that's a problem. And maybe that's our great filter. Maybe our great filter is the fact that, uh, you know, the demographics distribution of the world is shifting. One thing I've thought about is if, the mankind supposedly originated in Southeast Africa. So think about this. If you had that piece of information and you said, okay, so where is going to be the most, what should we say, close to whatever our ancestors were, and what is going to be the most advanced from whatever our ancestors were? Okay. So the closest to whatever those ancestors were that came out of there are going to be people still living there because they had their gene pool says, hey, we were born here forever and we really haven't changed. We've lived, adapted, yeah, the environment has changed and stuff like that, but we haven't had to like suddenly shift our perspective. Okay. The people who are going to be the most advanced are the people who are furthest from there, who have gone through the most migrations, because they're going to have basically survived the trials of whatever those other things were. And that's going to genetically select them to be the most advanced. But along with that, in today's world, as you get more advanced, you start valuing things differently. And let's just say you don't procreate as often. So now you have an issue. Your advanced people aren't procreating, and non-advanced people are procreating. Okay. So what happens? I think that's a great filter, possibly. Like, I don't know that's a global shift, you see. Uh, I don't know what'll happen right now. China is kind of insulated from that, which is interesting. So that's why another reason why I think China will continue to be a leader. Uh, And I don't think that's racist per se. I think it's just, you know, drawing some conclusions. Uh, uh, anyway, you know, I, I definitely think the world has some issues they need to deal with. I think we need to realize that we can talk about scientific issues that are controversial, shall we say, but very supported by the facts. Uh, and for example, I do not feel discriminated against that literally every cornerback in the NFL is African American. Now then, from that, I can draw some conclusions that I'd also be able to draw that I'm not discriminated by that. Okay, so if there's a math team that wins the math Olympics and they're all Chinese, for example, and they're American Chinese, I don't feel discriminated against by that either. But from those two things, I can tell you there aren't any Chinese cornerbacks and there aren't any black people on the math team. Hmm. Do you wonder why? It's because there's differences, right? Okay. And it's not because socioeconomically the Asian people were raised in a different socioeconomic status or the same thing for the cornerbacks. That is not it, folks. It is not because they had a dad in the house or didn't have it in the house. Okay. I mean, once you get to 100%, okay, yeah, all that economic other stuff mm, no longer holds water. So why can't we discuss the fact that there are differences in human beings and still say, hey, we're all human beings, but you do not get to expect an equal outcome in the NFL if you're an Asian guy that's trying to play cornerback. And, I mean, we're not going to, this is a merit system. We want the best, okay, at being cornerbacks. And that is an open competition, okay? They don't go out there and say, yeah, I need an African American. No, they go out there and say, I need the fastest guy who can stay on with the best reflexes and all that type of stuff. Just so happens every single one of those guys is African American. Same thing on the math team. They don't go out there and say, oh, you got to be Asian. Okay, or I think there was one Jewish guy. Anyway, they don't have any requirements. All right, the requirement is that you're the best. All right, so we're talking about the best, but there's a whole distribution in between. And for some reason, all these people on the left think that we need to treat or give, let me say it that way, we need to give everybody equal outcomes. And that's just not true. All right. We'll give you equal opportunity. All right. You're welcome to go out and try out for a cornerback. You're welcome to go out and try out for the math team. All right. I can tell you right now, the one you have a better chance of qualifying for is the math team because you can use AI to tutor yourself in math. You cannot use AI to tutor yourself in being a cornerback. Uh, so on the intelligence scale, I think probably everybody has got an advantage going into the future. via AI that you can just literally sit down and say, okay, I need to learn calculus. Where do I start? And it'll start. And then you can say, okay, build me an 8 week game plan to learn calculus. And it'll do it. And then you just sit down every day and do it. Uh, Now then, doesn't mean you're going to be great at it. Okay. Not all developers are great at being a developer. I can tell you that much. Uh, so anyway, uh, I think the world is going to be forced to come to grips with that issue. And I don't know like how they resolve it or something, but what you can't do is continue this word policing and stuff that we've been doing. And that's why you lost the election. And you elected a con man because you moved too far left. I mean, you got people who think they're not the sex they are. Yeah, well, you could think that, all right, but that's a mental issue. Okay, physically, you're one way, mentally, you're other. Okay, so this is either a physical or a mental issue. All right, and guess what? Physical is real, mental's in your head. Therefore, it's a mental issue. All right, so that's a DSM-4 thing. All right, you have an issue that you're going to have to deal with for the rest of your life. I can't help you with it, all right? But you should not be dictating any part of political policy because you have a mental issue. And that's what happened. Stuff like that. Stuff like people saying, oh, they should be able to bomb people in other countries. I mean, we got that going on all the way around the world. I mean, uh, you got Russia and Ukraine, you got the Middle East, which is just on fire. Uh, and here, I'm going to throw one other thing into what I was saying before. So if you can be physically different, you can be mentally different, like with the math team and things like that. So don't you think you can be behaviorally different based upon your genetics? Like you could be genetically inclined to violence. Uh, I think so. Uh, and I, I, I mean, that's an issue. And furthermore, when you combine that with rigid theology, which exists on both sides of the beliefs, uh, you're going to have conflict forever unless you get rid of one side or the other. I mean, so that's what Israel's trying to do. Hey, we're going to get rid of the other side. Like, you got a building, we're going to blow it up. Uh, until you say, uncle, we're going to keep blowing it up. So right now there's a ceasefire. They're out like parading around. ISIS is out like parading around in their little trucks and stuff like that because they know they're not going to get bumped. Trust me, when Trump gets into office, they're going to go back into their little caves and hide because Israel's coming back. Uh, and anyway, so should we allow a religion to exist if it focuses people on jihad, like violence? I don't think so. I mean, I literally think that that should be outlawed. Now, at the same time, the best advancements in the world have come from Christian societies. Uh, and those Christian societies, they promote good values. And even though Christian leader after Christian leader molests little kids and does all these bad things, okay? Yep. those guys make the news. I get it. Okay. But over in Afghanistan, they literally have traditions of group molestation of young boys. Okay. That's not a society that should continue to exist. Right. Somebody's got to pull those people into the 21st century and say no. And, I don't know what that's going to take, but good luck with it. Uh, I mean, the UK is going to be majority immigrant by like 2040, I think. Uh, and from everything that I've heard about how their society is gone, it's just gone straight downhill. Like all the nice shops are gone. There's just like it's just a poor country with rape gangs and stuff like that in these what used to be nice communities. And so maybe they do need Christian values. I just don't like the fiction of telling people, hey, this God guy is going to take you up into heaven when you're dead. I mean, to me, I would rather there be some type of other moralistic thing that we could build that foundation on. Anyway, that was a lot. And like I said, I expect this to be honest. Boy, if I'm going to get to Thursday, I've got a abdominal MRA, which is an arteriogram, which should definitely show issues. Thursday seems like a long ways. Yeah, it seems like a long ways. And then, hey, buy yourself some Bitcoin. Plan on diversifying as it goes up. So it's not all yours. So you hold some other things, physical stocks, ETFs, microstrategy. Okay. Own this basket of things, but let Bitcoin fund it because Bitcoin's just going to go. Okay. And someday maybe it blows up. But if you've been kind of skimming a little off the top and depositing it in gold and QQQM and, you know, Bitwise or something, you're going to be okay. And don't spend it. That's savings that is generational. Okay. Have lots of kids. Well, the world may not be the best place, but you'll enjoy your family so much if you have a bunch of kids. I love you.